The next step of our overheads is, see, once my reapportionment is done, I have to make sure that I absorb the overheads into the units produced. I have to absorb the overheads into the units produced. Now here I have a problem. What is the problem is, see here, first problem is my overheads, whatever I have done a calculation right now, that is apportionment, reapportionment, allocation, is it budgets or is it actuals? Is it a budgeted expense or the actual expense? Nivedita says actual, Fareen says actual. Okay, wrong. These are my budgeted expenditure. You need to understand this. These are my budgeted expenditure. Now, why am I taking budget and what is this absorption? See guys, when let's say I am trying to sell a sandwich, correct? I will be charging him the cost of bread, which I know in advance. I know the cost of vegetables approximately in advance. I don't know what is the amount of rent I should be charging per sandwich, yes or no? What is the amount of rent or electricity? Do I know how much do I charge in reality? No. But should I recover these expenses from the customer? Right? Now, how do I recover it? I try recovering it based on estimation. Based on estimation. So, I do a sum total of all my indirect cost and try recovering it in from a product, and that is basically my absorption. Did you understand now? So, we are trying to do all of this on an estimation, not based on actuals. Everyone's clear till now? Done? Now, see here, how do we look into it? There are multiple ways of absorbing the overheads. One is either based as a percentage of cost or as a percentage of number of hours. We'll come back to the second one a little later. Let's try looking into it as a percentage of the cost. What does it mean? See, I did a budget. Under a budget, what happened? My material cost was 1 lakh, labor cost was 50,000, my overheads was 50,000. These are what? My budgets. Now, if I try saying, can I say as per my budget, overheads is equal to 50% of direct material cost? Can I say my overheads estimation is 50% of the direct material cost? Can I also say that my overheads is 50% of, sorry, 100% of labor cost? Can I, what is the prime cost in this question? Guys, what is the prime cost in this question? One lakh 50,000, correct? That is because I have only direct material and direct labor. Can I say it is only 50,000? 1 lakh 50,000. So, if I have to find my overhead cost, it's going to be 50,000 50,000 and 1,50,000 is the prime cost. So if I multiply by 100, that means 33 1 by 3% of my prime cost is my budgeted overheads. Are you all clear? Are you all clear till now? Done. Now let's say in the actual you are going to be making different sales different time, correct? Now if my material cost is 10,000, can I estimate my overheads? If my material, somebody is coming and saying, boss, I'm going to give you a quotation. Raksha, which one did you not understand? See, I can calculate overheads as either a percentage of direct material cost, or as a percentage of labor cost, or as a percentage of prime cost, depending on the company policy. Now if I have to identify it, and Raksha, I would prefer if you can put it in public chat rather than the private one, so that others who have the same doubt can also start responding to it. Now when I say it's a percentage of material cost, see here I did a budget. Okay, you are trying to say that my overheads is 50,000 is what I have budgeted when my material cost is 1 lakh. What does that mean? What does that mean? That means that my overheads is 50% of the material cost. How did I get? 50 divided by 1 lakh into 100. Done. I can also express it as a percentage of labor cost. That will become what? 50 divided by 50 into 100. So it can either be 50% of material cost or 50% of the labor cost, or if I want to express it as a percentage of prime cost, what is my prime cost here? Prime cost is sum total of material and labor cost, which comes to 1 lakh 50. So out of 1 lakh 50, if I do it, it's going to become 50 divided by 1 lakh 50 into 100. That is 33% of the prime cost. Are you clear? Done. Now see, now let's come to the actual reality. You get to know your sum total of the overheads only at the end of the year. Okay, but are you gonna understand this example? You went to a juice shop, you drank a juice. The owner said, boss, this is the amount of fruits you drank, this is the amount of sugar you drank, but for the rent you come at the end of the year, I will tell you how much rent you have to pay me for the juice you had. Would you ever come back then? No. What would you tell the owner? You will say, boss, tell me the approximated figure, right? So that is what we are trying to do, is we are trying to come up with an approximated amount of overheads to be charged to a product. Did you all understand the scenario? Now see, I'll give you a certain example. Actual production for the first month, my direct material cost was 10,000, labor cost let's say was 6,000, right? Now company's policy is to charge overheads based on material cost. What is the company policy? To charge the overheads based on the material cost. My question is, what will be the overheads amount to be charged? Based on the example what we did, if the company's policy is to charge overheads based on the material cost, what will be the amount of overheads for this particular question? I have all the working notes here, so you can look into it. How, Suresh, 60%? From where you got, sir? Suresh sir, from where you got 60%, sir? Overheads is here, no, sir. Overheads have clearly told it will be 50% of the direct material cost, no, sir. So, if the company's policy is to absorb overheads based on the direct material cost, it's going to be 50% of 10,000, which is going to be 5,000. Are you clear? Now, what if the company says the policy is to absorb overheads based on the labor cost? It's going to be what? It will be 100%. Why? We have done as per the budget, it has to be the 100% of the labor cost. Are you clear? Done? Now they can also go in as a percentage of prime cost. That will be what? 33 1 by 3 percentage of 16,000, which will be 533. That is how, see here, see this example. Now, in this example, they have said the direct material cost is 2 lakh, direct labor is 1 lakh and overheads is 90,000. These are my budgets. So, can I come up with a policy of saying if I am going to be recovering overheads, it's going to be 45% of direct material cost. How did I get 45%? Second one, if I have to make it as part of the direct labor or the prime cost will be what? 90,000 divided by 3 lakh. Did you all understand this? Guys, anyone, any doubt? Right? The next way of recovery of overheads will be based on labor hours or based on machine hours. If the company is more manufacturing intensive, which is dependent on the machine, then this will end up becoming more on the machine centric side. Whereas if it's a service industry, then this will be based on the labor hours. For an example, see here, the company is expecting the overheads to be 1 lakh. The estimated overheads is supposed to be what? 1 lakh. And the machine hours is 50,000. That means the company is running for 50,000 machine hours and they are incurring an indirect expense of 1 lakh. What does it mean? It means that each product, right, for every 1 hour of machine run, you have to incur 2 rupees as your overhead. How did I get 2 rupees? 1 lakh divided by 50, which is 2 per hour. Are you clear? Done. The same thing, instead of machine hour, we can also have it as labor hour if it's a service industry. Are you clear? Now, see, each department can have either machine hour or labor hour depending on what they are excessively having. For an example, the assembly department is more labor intensive. So, you would always have, for the assembly department, you will do the total and you will try recovering it based on the labor hour. Okay. A machining department will always have based on the machine hours, because these are all production intensive. So, different departments can have different labor, different ways of recovering overheads. Are you clear? Are you guys clear? Now, so see here, so what happens, like I told you, now a base can be either machine hour or a labor hour. Now, how do we use it in real life? See, in a company, I am estimating that my overheads is 1 lakh and the machine hours taken is 20,000. That means, what is my estimated overheads per machine hour? What is my estimated overheads per machine hour? 4. Now, see, when a product has to be produced, right, I will ask my production manager, when I have to come up with the cost of a product, see the way I am going to ask him. I will tell him what is going to be my material cost. Let's say he says 10,000 rupees. I ask him labor cost, he says 3,000. I have to charge overheads. I will ask him, boss, tell me how many machine hours is this product taking? He tells me that the machine hours taken is 2,000. He gives me an information about the machine hours being 2,000. Can I calculate the overheads and give an estimation to the customer? Guys, can I find out the overheads to be charged? See here, you guys told me that the overheads is going to be estimated overheads is 1 or 4 rupees, because based on my estimates. Correct? Now, actually, how much machine hours did I work for? 2,000 hours. That means, what is going to be the amount of overheads that I need to charge to that product? It's going to be 8,000. Did you all understand this? Understood? Now, remember this. See, let's say my first preference is always going to be based on machine hour or labor hour. If not, it will be based on percentage of material cost, labor cost or prime cost. If I can't have these two, then I will go it based on the number of units produced. For an example, see, my budget is, budgeted overheads is 10 lakhs and my number of units to be produced is 5,000. my overheads, that is the sum total of all. Fareen, how is it 4? Guys, 4 or 5? Sorry. Guys, this was 5. Sorry, it would have been 10,000. Sorry for trusting your calculator. I'm sorry. Whoever said 4, God bless you guys. Sorry. My mistake, Fareen. Thanks for telling it. Who told 4? Let me just check. Manu, Nivedita. Oh, nice. Okay. Sorry Fareen. Sorry. Yeah. So, if I don't have details about machine hours or labor hours, I can also do it based on the number of units. See, if I am spending an overheads of 1 lakh and my number of units is 5,000, can I say my overhead which is estimated is 1 lakh divided by 5,000, which is 20 per unit? Generally in a trading company, this is how they try charging it to the overheads. Are you clear? So, if you are producing 10 units, your overheads will be 10 into 20, 200. Okay sir, sorry, 200 per unit. So, that will become 2000. Done. Now, the formula for absorption of overheads, my formula for absorption of overheads is equal to budgeted overheads divided by my budgeted base. And like I told you, my budgeted base can be either machine hour or labor hour, or it can be percentage of DMC, that is direct material cost, labor cost or prime cost, or it can be units. Are you clear? Done. Now, for different departments, there can be different ways of absorbing overheads. For different departments, there can be different ways of absorbing overheads. If I am going to be using one rate for the entire factory, I call it as blanket rate. So, instead of using different departments, different rates, if I use one rate for the entire department, we call it as what? Blanket rate. Are you clear? Guys, now see here. Now, I want you guys to understand this. This absorption rate, let's say I am trying to say it's 3 per machine hour. I am taking an assumption that the absorption rate is 3 per machine hour, okay, and I am working for 100 machine hours. So, what is the overheads absorbed? What's the overheads absorbed? 300, correct? Now, my question is this 300 actual or estimated recovery? It is estimated, right? So, if it is estimated, what we need to make sure is, guys, see here, we need, see, for an example, let's say I planned my estimation okay. Now, see here, guys, now look into it. I planned to spend 1 lakh. I planned to spend 1 lakh on overheads. Planned, again I'm using the term, I'm planned to spend overheads 1 lakh and produce 10,000 units. 10,000 units. Okay. How much is my overheads per unit? Can I say 10 rupees? Guys, I am planning to spend 1 lakh and I am planning to sell 10,000 units. Please remember both the terms because planning means budgeting. Are you clear? Guys, are you clear? Confused? You are there, not there? None of you guys are responding to. I am getting scared. Okay. Now, what happens if this guy only could produce 7,000 units? What happens if this guy could only produce 7,000 units? Per unit changes. Nivedita, please understand my per unit never will change because my overhead absorption rate was based on the plan itself. Please remember this. Just because your actual changes, your overhead recovery rate will never change. See, I was planning to produce 10,000 units and my estimated overheads was 1 lakh. So, per unit I produce, I wanted to recover 10 rupees. Yes or no? Pratham, I'll just come back, just look into it. Yes or no? Per unit I produce, I have to recover 10 rupees. So, if I am producing 7,000 units, how much should I recover? But for in budgeted overheads will never change. Namrata, it will not change. Please guys, remember this. How much will I recover? I will be recovering 70,000. This 70,000, the term we are going to be using is actual overheads absorbed. That is, into the production, I could absorb 70,000 rupees. Are you clear? Are you clear? Now, this is what I have recovered. Do you really think that the actual expense, what you are spending, will be 1 lakh or even lesser than 1 lakh now? I am talking of the actual spending. See, I have recovered from the customer 70,000 rupees. Actually, how much you would have spent? It might be 1 lakh or it might be lesser than 1 lakh or it might be more than 1 lakh. It can be anything. Farin, this is where half knowledge, right? It can be anything. This 1 lakh what I have written is actually my budgeted expense. End of the year, I will collect the actual bill amount and check how much was my overhead incurred. That is my actual expenditure incurred. Are you clear? Let's say my actual expenditure incurred was 90,000. Actual incurred was what? 90,000. Clear? I have incurred 90, but I have recovered from the customer only how much? 70,000. Right? Now, can you call up the customer and say, boss, I was planning to sell 1 lakh units. I could not produce 1 lakh units. I have produced only 70,000. My overheads are shot up by 20,000. Please, can you give me extra money? Do you think the customer will give? Farin will give. Right now, Farin? No. So, none of you guys as customers will give, right? None of you guys as customers won't give. This is what is going to happen typically too. It becomes a loss for me. It becomes a loss for me. Why? Because I should have known in advance, boss, I am going to be producing when I'm making a budget. If you would have made a budget of 7,000 units itself, I would have recovered per unit more. Correct? You made a wrong budget, keeping the estimation higher. The moment you kept the estimation higher, boss, what can I do? Why should the customer suffer loss for your wrong calculation? This term, see here, when I compare my actual expenses versus the actual overheads absorbed. So, in this case, my actual expense incurred was 90k, absorbed was only 70k. To make it better, what I will write this term as budgeted recovery. If my budgeted recovery is lesser than what is incurred, we say it to be under absorption. Did you understand this? Did you guys understand this? Should I repeat anything? Guys, understood? Now, let's say the actual expenditure was only 60,000. Actual expenditure was only 60,000. Now, what is happening in this case? You have recovered more and your expense became lesser. Yes or no? Right? Right? Then we call them as over absorption. Now, everyone open your book, the question which I had shared you in the PPT. Guys, now see this question. I want you guys to read this question first carefully. Let's try understanding few things so that we both are on the same page. Let's try looking into it. A Limited manufactures two products. So, they have two divisions, that is P1 and P2, and two service departments, S1 and S2. Budgeted overheads to absorb factory overheads to the product. The rate of department P1 is based on machine hours, while P2 is based on labor hours. Can different departments have different absorption rates? Yes, right? And in applying the overheads, predetermined rates are applied by actual hours. Whether they would have told or not, I would have still applied, because if you see the formula what I did earlier, I took budgeted base divided by budgeted hours. I ended up getting my absorption rate as, how much was this? Absorption rate of 10 rupees, which I multiplied with the actual units. Correct? So, overheads absorbed formula will be overhead absorption rate into actual base, which can be machine hour, labor hour, units, depending on the question. Is everyone clear? Now, for allocating the, now let's come further. For allocating the service department cost to the production departments, so what are they talking of here? Allocating the cost of product service departments to which concept are we talking of here? Guys, which concept? Guys, are you there? For allocating the cost of the production service to production departments. Reabsorption. Reabsorption is nothing, no concept, Priyanka. Reapportionment. Understood? S1 is done equally, S2 is done in the ratio of 2:1. Are you clear till now? Done. Now, the following budgeted and data are available. Factory overheads P1, P2, S1, S2. That means what have they given? They have done already allocation and apportionment. I have to start off making the reapportionment. Yes or no? So, I will do the reapportionment here. See here. So, I have P1, P2, S1, S2. Now, P1 is 25,50,000, P2 is 21,75,000. They are telling S1, how do you have to divide S1? Between P1 and P2 equally, correct? So, that will be 6 lakh should be divided as Are you clear? Then S2 should be done in the ratio of 2:1. That will be so this becomes my total overheads of total budgeted overheads of P1 and P2. What is the total? 25 plus 3 plus 6, 31,50,000. This one will be 24, 25, 50, 26, 25,000. Are you clear? Done. How do I absorb overheads? How are you going to be absorbing P1? Given in the question, read here carefully. P1 will be absorbed based on machine hours and P2 will be absorbed based on the labor hours. Now, let me try finding out the information. Okay. See here, they are saying P1 takes 1.5 machine hour for product A and 1 machine hour for product B. How many product A are you budgeting to produce? See the question. How many product A are you budgeting to produce? You are trying to produce 50, and if each unit takes 1.5 machine hour, how many units will you produce? How many machine hours will it take? Can I say product A will take 50,000 into 1.5, 75,000 machine hours, and product B, how many hours product B is taking? 1 machine hour, and you are producing 30,000 units. Therefore, it should take how much? 30,000. So, total machine hours taken by product A and product B put together is 1,05,000. Are you clear? Let's do the same thing for labor hours, because They are saying product A takes 2 direct labor hours and product B takes 2.5 direct labor hours. So product A 50,000 units into 2, how many labor hours? 1 lakh labor hour. Product B 3 into 2.5, so total 1 lakh 75,000. Are you clear? Now to find out the absorption rate, right, this is, see here, my overhead absorption rate for P1 is what? Budgeted overheads divided by my budgeted machine hours. Yes or no? And for P2, this will be budgeted overheads Are you clear? My budgeted overheads here is 31,50,000. And for P2 it will be 2625 divided by, we calculated, are you all clear till now? So what is going to be your OAR rate? Is 30 per, and for this it will be what? 15 per labor hour. Till here, does anyone have any doubt? Guys, now see here. Let's try now looking into the performance report. Okay. Let's try understanding what all have they given. My product A material cost is 120 and 150. Okay. My raw material cost is 120 and 150. How much raw material is, basically the actual units produced is 3000 and 4000. So basically based on that, please remember, always we make a performance report based on the actual units, not the budgeted units. Now everyone see here, my budgeted units 4000 units, raw material cost is 120, that comes to 4,80,000. For 3000 units it comes to 150, so it is 4,50,000. These are my budgeted cost. Labor, what are they saying? Labor, they are saying that, see here, the actual budgeted labor is 72 per hour and 75 per hour. Actual budgeted rate is what? 72 per hour and 75 per hour. But how many hours does product A and B take? Product A takes 2 labor hours per unit and product B takes 2.5 per unit. Are you clear? Guys, are you clear? So here, see here, 4000 units multiply by 25 into 72, and for in see here, they are telling the labor is going to take 72 per hour, right? 1 hour if you are working, it will take 72. Now product A, I have to find out how many hours does it take. So product A is taking 1 and 2 labor hours. So product A, if you are paying 72 per hour, for 2 hours how much will you pay? 144. That means for 1 unit you have to pay 144. You are producing how many units? 4000 units. So how much does it take? Are you clear, Farin? So 4000 units, 2 hours at 72 will give you 5,76,000, and 3000 units 2.5 hours at 75 will give you this much. Done. Now P1 department, we are going to be absorbing based on what? Machine hour, right? P1 will be absorbing based on machine hour. So 4000 units, each unit takes, see here, each unit takes 1.5 machine hour, and we already calculated that my absorption rate is going to be 30 per machine hour. Guys, see here, my P1 product A takes 1.5 machine hour. I have to recover the overheads based on machine hour. So my overhead cost will be 72 into 1.5 into 30, and sorry 4000 units, that is the number of units to be produced, 4000 units into 1.5 into 30, and 3000 units into 1 into 30. So this becomes my overheads for P1 department. Clear? And P2 will be absorbed based on what? The labor hours. That is going to be 15 per labor hour. When you do this, you get the budgeted cost of product A and product B. Are you clear? Guys, anyone any doubt? Trust me, as a student, I never understood this chapter. I never understood this chapter because everything was going above my head as a student. So it's okay if you get confused, there's nothing wrong with it, because I don't know whether I am teaching you guys well for you guys to understand, but it's a little confusing chapter. It takes time because it's a little bit of practical application involved. Pratham, these are not actual, sir. You are taking the budgeted cost for actual production, sir. When I say actual means you should have spent. I am not spending any of this. I am taking it based on the plant cost. Done. Now I am going to compare this budget with my actual expenditure. Now see here, actual expenditure given. Here they have given me actual expenditure for raw materials product A, for labor and overheads incurred. Did you all understand this? So this I put it across. Okay. Samina is asking, how do you record your overheads? Okay. Samina, see here, I did. Do you have any doubt on this one? No? Now you need to understand this, Samina. What does it say? It clearly says my overheads are 30 per machine hour. Yes or no? And for the P2 department, it is 15 per machine hour, right? So when I am talking of overhead absorption, see here, product A and product B, I have to find their machine hours. Now I know product A is taking 4000 units and each unit requires 1.5 machine hour, and product B 3000 units at 1 per machine hour. 1 machine hour. Are you clear? Samina. So if it's gonna take 4000 into 5, it's gonna, you have to multiply with the machine hour rate for the P1 department. Whereas for the P2 department, you have to absorb the overheads for A and B based on their labor hours. Now, there is one question which I always add as a student, and I am trying to just clarify few of you guys. Try understanding what is this P1, P2 and other things. See, guys, there is a product A to be manufactured. Okay. Now, for a product A to be manufactured, they'll take raw materials. From there, they'll employ labor. Then they would go through department P1 and P2 to make sure the product is getting completed. Are you clear? Therefore, P1 ka overheads also they have to recover. P2 ka overheads also they have to recover. Same thing for product B. It will have raw material. From there you will employ labor. Once you employ labor, you have to incur P1 and P2 ka overheads. Once this gets recovered, it will become a finished goods. Are you clear? That's why I am trying to take for both P1 and P2, both A unit ka B unit ka overheads recovery. Are you clear? Guys, are you clear? Guys, see this next question. Samina, you always have to calculate. So I'll be doing the next two questions on it, so don't worry. Right now, let's just understand how you are recovering your overheads. Samina, I didn't understand. What was that? Okay, now a lot of you guys might have this question. See here, when you see this portion, right? I want you guys to look into this portion now and then compare it with what is the actual figures given here. And see, there's a difference in the actual amount incurred and this amount. Right? Now let's try understanding how does this entire thing work. Everyone come to this portion. My actual cost, right? This what I have got is my overheads absorbed. I am trying to compare it with the actual cost. Okay. Now let's try understanding first what is the actual amount I have incurred for P1, P2 S1 and S2. See the question here. How much you have incurring? 2,31,000, 2,04,000, 60,000 and 48,000, right? So I'll write it here. Actual amount incurred, two lakh 31, 2,04,000, 60,000 and 48,000, right? How are we splitting the cost of S1? Guys, how are we splitting the cost of S1? Equally, right? So S1, if I divide it equally, it will become what? 30,000 and 30,000. And S2 48,000, how I should divide it? In the ratio of 2:1, that will be how much? 30,000, sorry, 16, that will be 32,000 and 16,000. Are you clear? So now the total will be 2,93,000 and 2,50,000. Done. What is the base for the P1? What is the absorption rate for P1? Guys, what is the absorption rate for P1? P1 is based on the machine hours and P2 is based on labor hours. So I'll try finding out the total machine hours and labor hours. See here, they have given me the information. The direct machine hours worked in P1 department 6,100 and 4,150. Therefore, total is what? 10,250 becomes my machine hours. Are you clear? Done. What about the labor hours? How many labor hours do I have? 15,600. Are you guys clear with this? So I'll take this down and now divide it with my machine hours and labor hours. That is, for this one it was 10,250 and this was based on labor and the labor was what? 15,600. When I do this, I'll get how much? 28.59 and 16.02. Are you all clear till now? Done. Now see, how do I get this value? My actual hours worked for product A is 6,100 multiplied by 28.59. Product B was 4,150 multiplied by 28.59. Sorry, right? And for labor, it will become what? 8,200 hours of labor at 16.02, and this was 7,400 hours of labor at 16.02. Did you all understand this? Earlier you used to get this question for 16 marks, now they have cut it down. So can we go next? Now let's read the question. What are they saying? A machine is costing 1 crore, is expected to run for 10 years. At the end of its life, it's likely to have 9 lakh. Repairs during the life is expected to be 18 lakh. The machine is expected to run 4380 hours per year on an average. Its electricity consumption is 15 units per hour, and at the rate being rupees 5, the machine occupies 1/4 of the area of the department and has 2 points out of the 10 points of lighting. The foreman has to devote 1/6 of his time on the machine. The monthly rent is 30,000, lighting charges is 8,000. The foreman is paid 19,000. Find out the machine hour rate assuming insurance is 1% per annum, and the expenses on oil blah 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 is around 900 a month. Okay, too much of information. Now what are they asking me to calculate? Correct? Now there are few things that we need to understand. Let me just try pointing out the areas which are very very important for me. The machine is expected to run because I am trying to find what rate? Machine hour rate. So I have to find out the machine hours as a base, which is 4380. Are you clear? Done? Now a question like this, you have two ways of doing it, either annual or on monthly. I'll teach you both, you choose whichever is convenient for you guys. Okay, first I'll do the monthly thing, then you can try looking into the annual thing. So in a year, how many months are there? 12. That means 4380 divided by 12 will be how many? 365 hours per month is what the machine will be working. Are you guys clear? So in a month they will be working for 365 hours. Now what I will do is, I will try keeping all my cost on a monthly basis right now. See, the machine is working for costing 1 crore, machine is costing 1 crore, 10 years is the useful life, scrap value is 9 lakh. Can you find out the depreciation? Correct? That's going to be 1 crore cost of the machine. Guys, all of this has to be working note, depreciation cost of the machine minus the scrap value divided by useful life 10 years, correct, and whatever answer you get will be dividing by 12 because I am doing it on a monthly basis. Therefore, that's going to be how much? First thing will be 91 lakh divided by 10 will be 9,10,000 divided by 12 will be 75,833. So, first expense calculation of machine hour rate, depreciation, done. Let us come to the second expense. So, I covered my first expense. Repairs during the whole life is 18 lakhs. Correct? Now, repairs right. See here, how do I do repairs? I know my repairs is 18 lakh for the entire 10 years. Therefore, per year it will be what? 1,80,000. Yes or no? Right? Now, this 1,80,000 rupees I will be running for 4,300 hours because repair is based on the number of hours the machine runs. Correct? Because more you run, more it is going to cost you for repair, divided by 43,800. So, that will be per hour it will be 4.10. Are you clear? If you want to do further, instead of this you can also do like this. 1,80,000 rupees is per annum, divide by 12, you will get 15,000 rupees per month. In a month you are running for how many days? 365 days. So, 15,000 divided by 361. Sorry, 1 lakh. $41.10. Are you guys clear? Sorry, Samina. Fareen, what do you want me to repeat? See, in a year, annual repair cost is 18 lakh. You are working for 10 years. That means per year it's going to be 1,80,000. Yes or no? Right? So, 1,80,000 is for 1 year. In a year, I am working for 43,000 hours. So, that means per hour cost is going to be 41.30. Are you clear? Now, let me come to the next expense. Electricity consumption is 15 units per hour. Let me come to electricity. Electricity consumption is what? 15 units per hour. Per hour you are paying 5. That means how much total electricity you will consume? Can I say 365 into 15 into 5 is my electricity. Repairs, if you are getting confused, just keep this 1,80,000 rupees is for the year, divide by 12, for a month it is 15,000. Just keep this as it is, we will see later what has to be done. So, I covered depreciation, depreciation amount was 75,833. Then electricity was 27,375 rupees. Then repairs is 15,000. Then let me come to the next one. The machine occupies 1/4 of the floor area. How much are you paying rent? 30,000. So 1/4 will be for the machine cost, yes or no? Guys, yes or no? So out of 30,000, 1/4 will be what? 7,500. So next one. It has 2 points out of 10 for lighting. Lighting charges are 8,000 per month. So 1/5 will go towards my lighting charges. Are you clear? That will be, lighting will be 1,600. Are you guys fine? What is my next expense? The foreman is paid 19,200 and he dedicates 1/6 of the time. So whatever is the lightman's salary, only 1/6 is gonna go towards the machine. So lightman 19,200 into 1/6, which comes to 7th is my sundry expense, which is 900 a month. Sundry expense 900 rupees. Last one is insurance. Now let's try looking into it on what are they taking insurance. Insurance is 1% per annum. So you can always take insurance is 1% of the written down value, and the written down value will be what? 1 crore. One crore minus 9 lakh. So that will be 91 lakh. 91 lakh ka 1% will be 91,000. This is going to be my annual insurance. $91,000 is my annual insurance. So I am trying to find per month. So divide by 12, that comes to 7583. Did you guys understand this? Shreyas, see here, insurance is 1% per annum. Suresh, insurance is 1% per annum, sir. So every year it is 1%. Suresh sir. They are clearly saying insurance is 1% per annum. So 1% of 91 lakh is how much, sir? Sorry, I think I told something earlier. So it's going to be 1% of 91 lakh. So insurance will be 7583. So do the total. Guys, do the total. That will be 75833 plus 27375 plus 15,000 plus 7,500 plus 1,600 plus 3,200 plus 900 plus 7583, which is correct. Shreyas, please understand, if let's say you are buying a car by paying 10 lakhs, every year when you are paying insurance, you pay 1% of the car value. You are not going to pay 1% for the entire 10 years. Shreyas, the definition or the question clearly says it is 1% per annum. They didn't say it's 1% for 10 years. Are you guys clear? Either you can keep it on an hourly basis or you do it. I have just kept it for the entire month. I'm trying to make the calculation even more simpler, so I'm just keeping everything for a per month basis. Okay, guys, now see here, Samina, you will understand what I'm doing now. See, 138,991 is my budgeted overheads, and my budgeted base is what? Machine hours. That is what? 138,991 divided by 365. Instead of individually dividing by everything, Samina, I just multiplied everything, the variable cost also by 365, so that I can do it once towards the end. So 138,991. So when you do it, how much do you get? 138,991 divided by 365. That comes to 380.79 becomes your machine hour absorption rate. Are you clear? Guys, this portion when I'm doing question, I'll be teaching you guys, or else just remember this. In case of any under absorption, right, or over absorption, you will be charging it to the costing P&L. What is supplementary rate will be coming back to the next practice questions and be doing it. So now I'll be sharing you guys some questions for the day. Please go back, solve it, so that your overheads chapter becomes clearer, and we will do only the supplementary question tomorrow, and we'll be starting off the cost sheet from tomorrow onwards. Guys, any doubt in the topic we did? From where I found, madam, I just did a total, ma. This is my total of the budgeted overhead, so I did a total of it. This calculation. This calculation total. Which question, Samina? You're talking of the homework question or the one which I did today? Samina, sorry, I remember the question. Do you remember the yesterday's question what we did here? Do you remember this question? Samina, in this, what did I say? Any cost of the service center will always be treated as overheads. That's why my direct wages values are taken only for the service departments. Guys, others please complete doing the questions. I'll share you some questions to be done. So let's just try doing the next chapter tomorrow. We'll get back to the overheads chapter, some bit of discussion towards the end of the class, but we'll be doing a continuation of overheads which is called as absorption costing tomorrow. So I'll share you questions in 1 hour. So guys, look into it. So see you guys tomorrow then. Have a great evening.